Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, sir, of the 2020 Podcast, LLC. Please say the LLC. And before you listen to this episode, I just got to let you know, I need you to stop what you're doing. Go to blkrenaissance.com, and I need you to shop for the culture. That's right. Anytime you use the promo code LLC20 at Black Renaissance Clothing's website, you will get 20% off your order. Off rip, no questions asked. So do me a favor and do it for the culture. Peace.
The self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
Okay, we lit it just like a fuse, so no need to pick and choose. Welcome to 2020, where we do more than interviews. The hottest be coming through, jumping knowledge on all of you. Get a peek at the front of you with the truth that they offer you. Yeah, hands up, we doing it for the culture. To give artists and businesses more exposure. Keeping it real and stay silent just like a boulder. It's about to go all the way down, can't get no lower. Chasing my dreams, know that they get no slower. But if I stay running, I promise they getting closer. Moreover, success my older. And if you're sleeping on me, I'm waking them up like Folgers. I told you, coming from the land with the tide roll. Well, we'll be on a whole different vibe though. We like to ride slow and keep our windows tinted so you really can see us like Stevie Wonder waking up with his eyes closed. Yeah, got the kind of flow that rock the boat. On my 16s of pounds of dough. And if you figure you can hang with me on the mic, then grab some rope. Matter of fact, better grab some hope while you at it. We keep it live, it's time to tune in. Turn up the sound on what you're using. It goes so hard, I think it's bruising. The show is 2020, no need to zoom in. Yeah.
So your boy Tory Lanez is back in the conversation. It looks like the driver, Jauquan Smith, actually had a statement that was now released to the public. Looks like unofficially. This is from, it's not even giving the affidavit information, but I'm just going to read what it says. My name is Jauquan Smith. My address is redacted. I'm over the age of 18 years and I'm fully competent to testify. I have firsthand knowledge of the facts in question that took place on July 12th, 2020. That is the basis of the above cited proceedings. I was the driver and bodyguard of Mr. Daystar Peterson, who is better known as Tory Lanez, in July of 2020. Mr. Peterson had known me for 7 years. At the time of the incident, I have worked for Mr. Peterson for 3 years. He has not only been my employer, but I also consider him to be a close personal friend. On July 12, 2020, I was asked to drive Mr. Peterson to the home of Kylie Jenner, where Miss Megan Pete, that's Meg Thee Stallion, and Kelsey Harris were present. Mr. Peterson was at Miss Jenner's home for approximately 2 hours when I received a call to come pick up Miss Pete and Miss Harris. So the next page goes on. Miss Pete, Miss Harris, and myself left Miss Jenner's home, but I was asked by Miss Pete to return because she stated she had forgotten a shoe. When we arrived at Miss Jenner's home at this time, Miss Harris stayed in the car while Miss Pete exited. Miss Pete did not enter the home at this time as she went around the back to the pool area where Mr. Peterson was located. Both Miss Pete and Mr. Peterson returned to the car after a few minutes. Miss Pete was bickering, but I'm unsure of the exact words she was saying. She seemed upset. The four of us left Miss Jenner's residence. As I began to drive, Miss Pete began to fight with Mr. Peterson. And this could be, an argument, not necessarily indicating physical fight. They were going back and forth. I remember Mr. Peterson saying to Miss Pete that he was going to tell Miss Harris what was going on. Uh-oh. I do not remember what street we were on, but Miss Pete asked me to stop the vehicle. I did as asked, and Miss Pete went to sit on a nearby bus stop. Mr. Peterson went up and spoke to Miss Pete. After about 2 minutes, they returned to the car and I began driving again. Excuse me. Miss Pete started the argument again, and Mr. Harris asked what was going on. Mr. Peterson told her that he and Miss Pete had been dating and intimate. So he was asking Tory, what was going on. He was like, man, me and Megan have been talking. Miss Harris was upset by this, talking about Kelsey, as she and Mr. Peterson had been dating in the same manner prior to any relationship with Miss Pete. So they pretty much discussing what we already know. Kelsey and Tory was already messing around before he was messing with Megan. Miss Pete and Miss Harris began fighting. Now again, this doesn't mean physical. This could mean arguing. I pulled over to stop them. Miss Pete and Miss Harris both got out of the vehicle and continued to fight, both verbally and physically. Okay, here we go. I broke up the fight and was pulling Miss Pete toward the car. I saw Miss Harris with a gun in her hand. Mr. Peterson ran from behind, and Miss Pete and myself toward Miss Harris. Mr. Peterson and Miss Harris, Tory Lanez and Kelsey began struggling as Mr. Peterson tried to unarm Miss Harris. He was trying to take the gun from Kelsey. I was still pulling Miss Pete and did not see who shot the weapon, so he was holding Meg when Meg got shot. I was lucky I was not harmed, and in my opinion, Miss Pete was also fortunate. The whole incident happened so quickly within a couple of minutes, and that's where it stops. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. This really, if you really know why Tory went to jail, this doesn't really have much bearing on why he went to jail, though. I encourage people to go and check out why he went to jail. You know what I'm saying? Because it shouldn't have been a situation where there was a gun, period. But anyway, let me know what you think. And yeah, I'll be seeing you soon.
Can we put your business out in the streets? People be nosy anyway. So if you're interested in promoting your business, brand, platform, or whatever it is that you want people to know about, hit us up. Or if you're interested in just sponsoring an episode or two of the Underground Queens podcast, feel free to email us at theundergroundqueens with a Z podcast@gmail.com. Again, that's the Underground Queens podcast @gmail.com. Or DM us on Instagram at the Underground Queens, or you can even hit us up on Facebook at Underground Queens. We look forward to working with you and helping putting your business out in the streets.